Let me tell you something. This isn't the story you usually hear about success. It's not the highlight reel, not the Instagram post with a trophy or a big check. This is the part most people skip over, but it's the most important chapter. The world loves a winner, but it never shows you the dirt, the grind, the failures that pave the road to that one win. Behind every headline, there's a story of late nights, doubts, and setbacks that nobody claps for. I'm here to talk about the dirt, my dirt. The stuff that gets under your fingernails and stays with you long after the lights go out. Before any wins, before VaynerMedia, there were losses. And they hit hard. They weren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They were gut punches that left me questioning everything. I was all in, raw ambition, endless hustle. I thought I had the Midas touch. I believed that if I just worked harder than everyone else, I couldn't lose. So when my first venture crumbled, it wasn't just a business failure. It felt personal, like I'd let down everyone who believed in me, and even worse, myself. I had told everyone I was going to crush it. Then, silence. No calls, no emails, just the echo of my own expectations. The silence after failure is the loudest thing you'll ever hear. It's your doubts, the "I told you so's," and your own disappointment. It's the moment you realize you're alone with your thoughts, and they're not always kind. You start questioning everything. Am I cut out for this? Was it all a fluke? Did I just get lucky before? Or is there something wrong with me? It's a lonely place. But that's where the real work begins, when nobody's watching, and you have to decide if you're going to get back up. That first failure was the most important punch I ever took. It woke me up. It forced me to look in the mirror and ask, how bad do you really want this? It taught me that passion and hustle are just fuel. You still need a map and a good engine. You need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. I had to confront that I didn't know everything. A great idea doesn't mean a great business. Execution, learning, and humility matter more than ego. This wasn't the end. It was the real beginning. The start of a journey that would test me in ways I never imagined. My education in the school of hard knocks had just started. Every setback was a lesson. Every mistake a new page in my playbook. Failure isn't glamorous, but it's the foundation of every win. It's the cracks that let the light in, the reason you build stronger next time. If you're in the dirt right now, you're not alone. Every entrepreneur, every dreamer, has been there at some point. That's where every real journey begins. In the quiet, in the dark, with nothing but your will to keep moving. The only question is, will you stay down or get back up? Will you let failure define you, or will you use it as your launch pad? For me, that first failure was the start of everything. It was the moment I learned what it really takes to win. My first big idea? A subscription box for hyper-local, artisanal foods before subscription boxes were everywhere. I built a beautiful website, sourced amazing products, and poured my savings into it. Launch day came, I waited for orders, and waited. A few pity purchases from family, but the market met me with a resounding meh. I'd built something perfect for myself, not for real customers. The brutal truth? I never actually talked to potential customers. I assumed everyone wanted what I wanted. Wrong. I built a beautiful, expensive key for a lock that didn't exist. The business limped along, but the numbers didn't lie. The cost to acquire a customer was sky high. The economics were a disaster. Shutting it down felt like defeat, but it was my first golden nugget of wisdom. Your idea means nothing until the market validates it with their wallets. Lesson learned. Talk to your customers before you build. The biggest lesson? You are not your customer. You can love your idea, but your opinion doesn't matter. The only one that does is the person who pays. I was solving my own problem, not theirs. If I could do it over, I'd talk to 100 potential customers before building anything. Not to sell, but to listen. I'd test interest with a simple landing page, a cheap ad, or by talking to people on the street. This is customer discovery, the least sexy, most important part of building a business. Instead of building the whole service, I should have tried to sell just one box. Real feedback is gold. Failing to get it is like navigating a maze blindfolded. Talking to customers hands you the map. Fall in love with your customer's problem, not your solution. Understand it better than they do. When you do, the right solution becomes obvious. Don't build things only your mom wants to buy. Build what the market actually needs. After licking my wounds, I tried again, this time a mobile app to connect homeowners with local service pros. I did my homework, validated the need, and assembled a dream team. On paper we had it all: vision, technical chops, business acumen. We raised a little money, got an office, and dove in. But soon, cracks appeared. Our coder was a perfectionist, obsessed with building the perfect platform. I wanted to launch fast and get feedback. Our business guy was more interested in networking than finding customers. We were fundamentally misaligned, different work ethics, risk tolerances, and visions. Meetings became arguments. Passion turned to resentment. The office grew cold and silent. The dream team was a nightmare. We never had the hard conversations about values, decision-making, or risk. We were just three people working on the same project, not a real team. The app never truly launched. The company died before it ever lived. The lesson: alignment beats talent every time. Our team, our supposed greatest asset, became our biggest liability. A team of A players with C-level alignment will lose to B players with A-level alignment every time. Who you build with is more important than what you build. You can pivot a bad idea, but not a toxic culture. We never discussed values, decision-making, or risk tolerance. We were individuals, not a team. If I could do it again, I'd date my co-founders, test our dynamic on a small project first. Vetting your partners is the highest ROI activity. Startups are pressure cookers. They expose every flaw. Without shared values and open communication, you're doomed. Culture isn't a poster, it's the blood and guts of your company. Without it, your startup is dead on arrival. 2 strikes, but I wasn't out. I still had hope, and a stubborn belief that I could crack the code if I just kept going. I'd learned about market validation and team alignment, lessons that felt hard-won after my earlier failures. My 3rd try was ambitious, a SaaS platform using AI to predict social media post performance, something I thought every marketer would crave. This time, my co-founder and I were truly aligned, sharing the same vision and drive. We built a lean MVP and got it to early adopters as quickly as possible. The feedback? Lukewarm at best. People thought it was cool, but not essential. They liked the idea but didn't feel compelled to use it every day. It was a nice to have, not a must-have. A vitamin, not a painkiller. But I was stubborn, convinced I could make them see its value. I'd invested my identity in this idea. It felt personal, like letting go would mean admitting defeat. Instead of listening to the market, I doubled down. I ignored the warning signs and kept pushing forward. I convinced myself users just didn't get it yet, that with a few tweaks they'd come around. We spent another year grinding, adding features, tweaking the UI, hoping for a breakthrough that never came. My co-founder raised the red flag. They're not using it as we intended, something's off. But they loved this one little feature. It was clear users cared about something we hadn't even prioritized. That feature let users easily schedule and cross-post content, a simple tool that solved a real problem for them. He suggested we focus on that, to double down on what users actually wanted. I resisted. It wasn't my grand vision. I couldn't let go of the bigger dream I'd built in my head. I was married to my original idea, dragging the company down with my refusal to adapt. The company ran out of money and energy. The team's spirit faded, and so did our runway. This failure was different, a slow decline I could have prevented if I'd listened sooner. The lesson: don't be a martyr for a bad idea. Let go before it's too late. Your job isn't to be right, it's to find the truth in the data, even if it hurts your ego. Pivoting isn't failure, it's learning. It's the only way to survive and grow. I missed the pivot and it cost me everything. Next time I'd listen to what the market was really telling me. The company shut down and the lesson was clear. Don't ignore the data. A founder's job is to find the truth, not defend their ego. I failed to pivot when the market showed us what it wanted. A pivot isn't giving up, it's adapting to new information. I was too attached to my original idea and missed the opportunity. Now I'd obsess over real metrics: user engagement, feature adoption, churn. Every idea is a hypothesis to test, not a gospel to preach. When the data speaks, listen. The feature our users loved could have been a whole new company. The pivot I never made was my most valuable lesson. If I could talk to my younger pre-failure self, I'd tell him to relax. Passion is a superpower, but also a blind spot. Ambition will take you far, but unchecked ego will cost you. You're playing a long game. These early losses aren't the final score. Here's my advice. 1. Stop talking, start listening. Your idea is worthless until a stranger pays for it. 2. Your team isn't your friends, they're your partners. Vet them for values and work ethic. 3. Don't fall in love with your solution. Fall in love with the problem. Follow the data. The market is your boss, not your ego. Failure will hurt, but it's part of the process. Every entrepreneur you admire has a graveyard of failed ideas. Those aren't failures, they're scars, proof you fought and healed. These failures will be your best education. They'll make you resilient, humble, and empathetic. They'll give you perspective to appreciate the wins. You're going to lose a lot. Embrace it, learn from it. Every loss is a stepping stone to who you're becoming. Now get back to work. Why share all this? Why talk about the moments that didn't go as planned? The setbacks, the stumbles, the times you felt like giving up? Because someone out there is feeling that punch right now. Maybe it's you, sitting there, wondering if you're the only one struggling. If your startup just died. If your dream just took a hit and you're not sure what comes next. If you're staring at zero in your bank account, feeling like you've hit rock bottom. It's not over. It's just beginning. Every ending is the start of something new, even if you can't see it yet. Failure isn't a stop sign. It's a signal to learn, to adapt, to grow stronger. It's the cost of admission. If you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself far enough. You're not risking enough to make something truly meaningful. Reframe failure. See it as a badge of courage, not a mark of shame. It's not a verdict on your worth, it's just data. It's feedback, a map showing you where to go next. My first startup taught me to listen to the market, not just my own ideas. My second taught me to build the right team, to surround myself with people who challenge and support me. My third taught me to pivot, to change direction when the path ahead was blocked. None of these lessons come from books. They're earned through pain, through loss, through real experience. Those failures were my best investments, so go fail. Try something ambitious, build, launch, and learn. Don't be afraid to fall, but do it with your eyes open. Learn from every setback, every mistake, every no you hear. The faster you accumulate lessons, the faster you'll win. Every failure is a step forward if you let it teach you. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Embrace the dirt, the grind, the scars. One day you'll realize those scars are proof you showed up and tried. You'll look back and see the tuition you paid for your success. Now stop watching. Go get your hands dirty. Get in the arena, take your shot, and don't hold back. Go build, go fail, go learn, and keep moving forward. And then go win. Because every failure is just a step on the path to your biggest victory.